Welcome to the Alpha Theta Network podcast. I'm Dr. Millie Lytle. As a health strategist and the energy ND, I am obsessed with helping you align your being before you map your doing. But what happens when the obstacles blocking your path aren't just structural, but energetic, karmic, or deeply hidden in your very identity? Today, we are moving into a truly multidimensional space. Joining me today is Jodi R. Netzer, also known as Sparkles. That's how I met her. Jodi is a multidimensional obstacle exorcist and creative catalyst for heart-led entrepreneurs and anyone navigating massive personal, professional changes. With an eclectic, high vibrational background spanning conscious leadership, community development, law, and the performing arts, Jodi helps multi-passionate people ignite their inner spark so that they can manifest a sustainable, soul-aligned impact. In fact, we met at the Soulful Leadership Retreat, where I will be attending again in February. I'll put the link to that conference in the description. For any entrepreneurs who are soul aligned, who would like to meet with other soul aligned leaders. Back to Jodi. She has a unique genius for identifying and transmuting karmic patterns, aligning your actions to your soul's purpose by decoding your hidden blueprint inside your personal and business names. I gave her my name, I gave her my birthday, and she generated 3 different versions of my soul contract. And we demo it here today. Jodi recently put me in the hot seat for a deep dive into my own birth name, Millennia Ruth Lytle. What I learned about my own soul contract completely reframed my perspective. It gave me profound lens to understand my highly complex mission. But more importantly, it showed me how to practically apply these energetic numbers like my 13 to 4 soul destiny and my 22 to 4 physical talents directly to the structural strategy of my business moving forward. Today, we are going to break down exactly how this deep transformational decoding works, who it can help, and walk you through the mechanisms of my live reading so that you can see how to build a map for your own life and business. If you are ready to stop the chaotic struggle and step into purposeful manifestation, you won't want to miss a second of this. Let's step onto the bridge and welcome Jodi to the network. I'm so happy to be here, especially with my guest, Jodi R. Netzer. She is a multi-dimensional transformational catalyst, and we're going to interview her today and see how she can help you, what her gifts are, and we're going to do a little demo of my soul chart, I believe. Is that what it's called?
Soul contract reading, yes.
Soul contract meeting. So I'm going to brace myself because I don't know what it's going to say, but having optimistic thoughts about it. And thanks so much, Jodi, for being here. We connected at the Soulful Leadership Retreat back in January.
Yeah, you were the first person I met, so it's amazing to be here with you.
And so tell me a little bit about yourself.
Wow, lots of stories. Well, however, I just love helping people to grow wings and prosper in all sorts of areas of their lives. I help heart-centered and multi-passionate people, entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, creatives, and people in personal and professional transition to identify and transmute the deeper hidden causes of what's holding them back so that they can quickly and exponentially improve their health, wealth, relationships, and soul-aligned impact. And I do this with many ways. We'll go over soul contract readings. I'll explain that a little later. What I describe is I do creative, soulful, practical life and business coaching with deep transformational healing, creative expression, and catalytic community building. And I have a lot of experience in a lot of things. So I have different hats from different experiences. I've ran an entrepreneurs group. I've done a lot of festivals and circus even, and performing arts background. I have a legal background. I've done a lot of civic engagement projects, graphic design, film, video, and arts activism, and a lot of. And so, in running a entrepreneurs group, teaching on topics, doing masterminds, networking, and I just love bringing people together. So I'm all about creating a happier, healthier, more sustainable world.
And is this something that you've always done, or was there a turning point in your life where you kind of got into it?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. There's a lot of iterations. Since 5 years old, I received a vision, or I was told that I'm to be a communicator out in the world. And it's to bring more peace and love in the world through creativity. And from that, I've had many different experiences. And as being human, we have a lot of challenges as well. And I've learned how to maneuver, transmute, and rise above those. And so that's how I help other people to empower themselves.
Okay. So is this something that you went to school for, or you learned on your own, or through a series of teachers?
Well, which part? The soul contract act part of things, because we'll do a demo on that. So it's a channeled modality from someone who has since passed on, and his protege took it and expanded the modality, and I've learned it from him directly. And then I also do divine healing. His ex-wife created that, and that is a kind of psychic modality. I really tune into you to really pinpoint what are the issues, and kind of release them like an exorcism of sorts. So it could be from trauma, stress, any sort of imbalance, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, addictions, attachments, subconscious ego programs, abundance issues, energetic interference. And it works multidimensionally and throughout time frames. So it could be past life, future life, parallel life, ancestral lives. And yeah, when it works, it's like, why did that affect me in the first place? So it's really powerful. And then specific for health issues, I have another resource and a process where I've been able to heal people within a session, because it really goes deep into the psychological, emotional causes of what's holding them back. So, for example, I had a client, she came to a session with burning eyes. What's going on? Maybe it's an allergic reaction. Gone before the end of the session. She had a chronic urinary tract infection. Gone. Working on her fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue. So, yeah, it's amazing what our mind and our experiences can create in the world, and how we can work that back and undo them.
So on this channel, we deal with all subconscious work. So people who are helping in subconscious realms. So for instance, I work with hypnosis, which is a slowing down of brain waves and opening up a suggestive space and kind of bypassing the conscious place where we've already made a lot of decisions for ourselves, even that we don't even know that how much they're holding us back, or if they're causing illness, or if they're making this big, imprint on our life and how we continue to do things, even if it's not best serving for us. So on what, that's like brain waves and, maybe, and some power of suggestion. What would be like what would be like the medium or the modality or the substance that you're working on?
Yes. Okay. So, yeah. So for different modalities for different things. So, for example, the soul contract readings, that is your soul map. And again, we can explain later, but that is amazingly accurate based on names. And how it works really is that we come into this world with a certain blueprint in our in our soul makeup. And we all come with karmic patterned challenges to transmute into gifts, soul talents, soul goals, and soul purpose. So knowing that there's positive and negative aspects in the chart, so you know, like, okay, I'm falling back and I'm getting my ass kicked. I'm like not in alignment with my soul purpose. Now, when you are in alignment with your soul purpose, life gets easier. You know why shit happens, and then you can course correct. And it provides this mission statement, this core, who am I? What am I here to do? And why shit happens and how to mitigate that. Now, with the divine healing, that works, I would say, more on an energetic frequency level with it multi-dimensional energetics. And it could be entities, it could be subconscious ego programs, right? It could be your own psychology, it could be internal issues or external issues, or other all of the above intertwined. And until I tune in, connect, source what the information is or the energetics are, then it's metaphorically like a tuning fork, I suppose, or just simply removing the obstacle, whatever it is. So it could be maybe you're nutritionally imbalanced and you just need a little something there. Or maybe it is a disconnect from your spiritual source. Maybe it's a portal that needs to close. Maybe there's energetic interference in your home or something. I mean, it can go in so many different places. It's a lot. So that's how that works. With
that's like subatomic particles, I guess. Like it's vibrations and frequency.
Yes.
Even I'm reading this book right now, A Happy Pocket Full of Money by David Cameron Giganti, and he's talking about electrons and like our money mindset, whether we're wealth mindset or poverty mindset, is just a concept basically that's based around energy, which is just a constantly revolving basically series of electrons and waves, I think, from as far as I can understand it chemically. Or physics. I think it's physics actually, so it's even smaller maybe than chemistry. So I think that's the realm that we're kind of talking about. But then are you talking about spirituality?
That it can be in that realm. It's also just how we live in this earth. I mean, that's why I say I do creative, soulful, and practical, because I always give people the action steps, right? So, and I've been a webinar junkie, so you don't have to be. That's my line. So so if you want to build a business, I know all the online everything too. So, there's a lot of components. So wherever someone's held back, it's so individualized. So it could be on an energetic level, it could be on a mindset, or just you're not in alignment with your soul purpose. So that's where procrastination and self-sabotage comes in. And procrastination can be a good thing occasionally, because it gives you pause, like, okay, something's out of alignment.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Don't push the grind if something's, you're going to run into a brick wall, so just remove the brick wall.
Right. So there is some mindset component to it, just like the way we think and approach our lives. And then there's also, I guess, some electromagnetics about it as well.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I like to understand like the realm of what we're talking about, because energy is so big, and this is just a discussion. We're not measuring it, and we have no instruments of measurement.
Well, mind, body, spirit, right?
Yeah.
There's the, so even physiologically, I actually did a performance piece on this, because you can overpower or underpower on any of those, mind, body, spirit, and it throws the other out of balance. So that Trinity is really important. So when you rise one up, the others tend to go up. But if you overexert, let's say you overexert physically, and then that might deplete your mental, it can create mental fog or exhaustion in your body and also in your mind. If your spiritual self is out of alignment, that can affect your health. And so anyway, it really is all about balance and synergy.
Who would come to you? You mentioned somebody with burning eyes and allergies. Who else has come to you or would come to you?
Oh yeah, I mean that's just a subset. Most people come to me because they want to know their soul purpose.
Okay.
Some people come to me because I can identify synergies and clashes between people, so parents, children, or relationships. I can tell why things might work or not, coworkers. And also I optimize business related names. So for example, I had someone who was running for mayor who wanted a slogan. And even though he's more left brain, he does have a little open-mindedness. And yeah, and anyway, nailed it. So, and some people do have health issues. That might be something, or someone wants to, I had a client who wants to create a business, but knows that something's holding him back. So what is that thing? I have several clients like that. They want to know why. They kind of know where they're going. They have a sense of it, but they keep getting blocked somehow, and they want to know why, and they want to bust through it.
Awesome. Well, I wonder as well. I mean, I feel like the holistic health field is definitely my realm, but I'm always, interested in a variety of things. You are going to do a demo on me, and I'm very curious to see how it's going to go.
So we'll start
Okay.
with their birth name, because birth name is foundational. So this is what a chart looks like, and I'll describe how it works. So Millie's birth name is at the top, Millennia Ruth Lytle, and the letters in her name get translated into Hebrew, which then has an associated number. And this chart usually has some calculations so you can see it, but for whatever reason, this one doesn't, but that's okay. So basically the numbers go around, starting from the physical karma triangle in the upper right-hand corner, and then it goes down clockwise around the circle until all the numbers are completed, and then you add the numbers. And then in the case of, in physical karma, we'll use that example, 12-3. So the numbers added to 12. So maybe it was, say, 66. And so 6 and 6 equals 12. And anything above 9 gets also another number, 3. So that's why some have 2 numbers and symbols and some have 1. And the downward triangle represents generally the energetics that happen earlier in your life. And the upper triangle tends to be the ones that come more in focus later in life after some sort of midlife crises, something like this, or some sort of major awareness. The younger year ones don't necessarily go away. I find very often people stay stuck in their physical karma often, but it depends on the talents. So the karmic areas, both on the right side, those represent the challenges in your life to transmute into your gifts. And then the talents, those are fulcrum. They help you to transmute the karmic patterns if they're strong enough. Some symbols are not very strong, so that's why some people have even more difficulty in their life, and sometimes the karmic numbers and symbols are challenging more than others. It just depends. And then the talents are also help you to reach your goals. So the goals in the upper left and the top, those are the ones that when you step into them, you feel really fulfilled in your life. And then in the middle gets calculated from all the numbers on the outside, And that becomes your soul destiny and purpose, why you are here. And that's your guiding light. So do you have any questions so far, how this chart is formed?
Yes. I mean, I don't know what my questions are. I still don't understand it. I mean, I heard what you
Okay.
said, but I don't quite understand how to, like what any of it means.
Yeah, we'll get into the
Okay,
interpretation. I'm just
okay,
describing the triangles and what each of the areas mean, because
okay,
everybody's chart is different and it all depends on your name
right.
and the calculations.
Okay.
So,
So I guess my
yeah,
question is, does a two numbered number always get distilled down to one? And do they
yeah.
both matter, or does only the final number matter?
No, both matter. So it's two energies in the same triangle versus one energy more strongly. So
I see. Okay.
9 9 is like double, like that's a 9,
Yeah.
instead of 18 9, where it's kind of like a half 9,
Right.
or
Okay.
half the energetics of 9. I mean, it's still 9, but yeah, same with eights that you have. So,
And
so
then
yeah,
the symbols relate specifically to the number itself,
yes,
but
exactly.
some symbols, just like probably some numbers, are stronger than others.
Yes, exactly. And some
Okay.
are, yeah, some are more spiritually based, some are more earthly based. And yeah, so I will do now. When I have sessions, I go really deep dive, and in fact, some people, it may take several sessions, because depending on how challenging their chart is or how deep they want to go, I can spend a whole session on just one triangle, but I could also do the whole thing in a session too, if that's the request.
Hmm.
But for now, because we only have a few minutes here, I'm just going to. I could either ask you a question and I can relate it to your chart, or I can give you just a brief overview of what the symbols mean. Which would you prefer?
Maybe, I don't know, just whatever you feel is
Okay.
more helpful.
Okay, cool. Well, I usually start with physical karma. Um, so, questions for you. Have you felt any sense, especially when you were younger, a sense of, may I be frank? Is that okay? Do I have
Yeah,
your,
please.
okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay. Have you had experiences of unworthiness and or some sort of restrictions that you kept facing?
Uh, Definitely restrictions. I mean, I don't really, I mean, I guess I have confidence issues. I haven't really felt like unworthy, but maybe that's something that like I wouldn't be able to tap into, but it's there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
restriction.
Okay. The 12 in a karmic position is very much about restriction. And now, if it was in a gold position or talent, it would be all about expansion, like constantly expanding yourself. But in this karmic position, it would be about facing restriction. So, what are some experiences that you had? And what you described is the other piece of that. So maybe not unworthiness particularly, but you could have been shy, or, not coming out of your shell, or had trouble communicating with people, that kind of thing. What are some restriction stories you have?
Um, well, I mean, I felt restricted my whole childhood because I was raised in a fundamentalist household, and like what I wore and how I presented myself was restricted. And so I was constantly trying to break out of that.
Yeah.
That was like a big thing for me because it really affected like how I related with like community and friends. Maybe I didn't need to, but it did. And so I was constantly trying to like get out from under oppression. And like
Yeah.
even as I was like entering young adulthood, like that's how I felt about everything, was like
Mm,
activist, out from under oppression, like everything's trying to hold you back. And I had to really shift mentally in order to not feel victimized. And
yes.
then I had some assaults too, so I don't know if that's kind of part of it, but and I had some
Yeah.
accidents, and so just like those things are also very limiting, like
Oh,
emotionally limited. I fell down the stairs and I broke my jaw in 3 places when I was 20.
oh
And
goodness.
so like and so I just had a lot of physical. I had three near death experiences very close together. Um,
Mm.
yeah. So
Wow. Yeah, that's a powerful restriction story that you have. It's in your soul contract here, that you are here to experience that. But on the flip side, in the threes, you'd be a great teacher, a communicator, and being really expressive. And so that on the flip side would be the positive from that learning experience. From the mess comes the message kind of thing. So
mhm,
that's where I find a lot in the karmic positions.
mhm,
Um, I'll go briefly over some of your chart here. 22 and 4 in your talent position. 22 is a lot about completion and lessons of ugliness to beauty, whereas 4 is about sharing and finding ways to duplicate your efforts. And doing podcasts and reaching out to one to many is um, kind of in that wheelhouse. Do you have any stories regarding this?
like I'm not quite sure what that would be like, completion in terms of.
A sense of completion, like getting things completed.
Just
But
like
there's,
generally.
yes.
um I mean, I tend to start a lot of things. I've completed big things in my life, but I find that I'm one of those people. I forget what like I'm a manifesting generator. Like I start a lot of things. Um,
Ah,
yeah.
okay. So that means that you might be showing some of the negative aspects of this, of the 22. So one strategy would be you tend to get things 80% complete, and then it's good to delegate the rest. That would be
Right.
a strategy.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. And then for the fours, that's about sharing and and trust. So if you have any areas of mistrust or something, this is about learning to trust in the abundance of the universe. And then, coming from that place, abundance will come to you.
Hmm. Great. Very
Yeah.
good.
So trust is a big issue. I'll
Yeah.
I'll keep going. 16:7. The 16 is about bringing spiritual energies down to the earth plane and making it relatable. And the sevens is being a catalyst and connecting with people. Um, and together, it's about being relatable, grounding the energies. On the flip side, on the negative side of the sevens, you could be hiding your true self. So that's something to be aware of, is really to be your authentic self, to shine in your goals. Does that resonate?
Yeah, I relate to the first description. I mean, I think I'm very good at solidifying mysterious or difficult principles and explaining them, and in that way,
Yes.
relating. I have other maybe relating issues pertaining to education of my own, and then how to translate it. But certainly, I do find myself to be a filter of complicated material.
Yeah, awesome. That is fulfilling. When you do that, you feel fulfilled and
Mhm.
connecting it with people. So, yeah, that's definitely okay. Going quickly into the spiritual karma. So, 9 is known as the dragon energies, and it's really about power issues. And in the karmic position, you might experience within yourself or outside of yourself power dynamics of either overpowering or underpowering. And you have this as a spiritual goal as well, which is really interesting. So you have this dual theme of busting through it and also rising above it and balancing power, like having power being more graceful in a sense of a beingness instead of overpowering or victim underpowering. So do you relate to these themes?
Yes. I relate to both having to contain my power as well as sometimes over containing my power.
Yes. Yeah.
I
This
I
is
have
a
an astrology, my astrology chart. I have a Mars trine Pluto, which is an extremely like overbearing, like almost. One astrologer told me it's a ruthless energy,
uh-huh.
and really, I'm
Yeah.
like a good-hearted person, but like I would probably never stop, like working, striving, just like things like that. Not that I'm in like the corporate society, so that's not where it happens, but just in my own personal work and goals.
Yeah.
Um, I
Yeah.
guess I'm just like very, very persistent, but I'm also, and I guess I have to, in some ways containing my energy and being feminine is easy, but then in other ways it's not. So that's not like kind of as clear, but I definitely I need tools for that. I've needed to develop tools for that.
Yes. I have many tools for that. This is a short reading, so I can't really get into the deeper, like what you can do. However, with these energies, on the positive side, you do have this warmth. You are able to organize. You have potential psychic abilities. You have creativity. So there's, all of these, again, they have positive and negative aspects. But yeah,
Hmm.
the nine could be really difficult, one of the difficult ones in the karmic position. And because you have 4 9s in your chart, see 9 9 and then 9 9, after I read the soul destiny purpose, I would read another passage for you that is specific, as if God, goddess, source is speaking directly to you. So we wouldn't have time for that, but just letting you know, anytime there's 4 or more of a number, it's like, wake up, pay attention, this is your message.
Okay.
Okay, so going into the eights, this is known as the amoeba, very sensitive to the environment. It's all about harmonizing with the environment. And the big theme about the eights is being grounded. So really it's the most earth-based energies, which could in some ways help your nines, in that it's really about getting in tune with your feelings and emotions. With the nines, you do need to express disempowerment. But with the nines, it's also about being sensitive and cognizant of the environment. You also have clairvoyant capabilities if you choose to expand that in your eights. Um, so, grounding activities, anything you do with your body, massage, yoga, dance, gardening, cooking, walks in nature, really important to have space clearing in your environment. And that would help you ground. Um, does Because the nines also, with so many nines, you could be hard on your body. So being gentle through the eights, through physical grounding experiences, could help you with that. Do you relate to this?
Yeah, it's interesting because I do consider myself a very grounded person, and yet there's no earth in my astrology chart whatsoever. I'm all water, mostly water and fire, although I do have some air, but no earth. So
Mm.
I've always wondered, is that because like my groundedness comes from somewhere else, or if it's just like something that I'm just lacking? Because I've always felt very grounded and even been described as grounded, but you don't always see yourself.
It's in your chart,
Yeah.
so you can tap into it more. You have it available there.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it's there for you to experience. You have it innate in your talent. So when you are not grounded, you're not in alignment with your soul contract.
Oh, good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I know that you did give me a couple others, which it's obviously a very complex issue because you looked at my other names that I use as well as my business, and
Mm-hmm.
my business has a standout. And I know that you did mention that that's something that you work on. So I
Mm-hmm.
think we're out of time for today, but if you want to discuss, like, how can people get readings like this, or is there anything else that you just want to say before we have to wrap up?
So I have an upcoming masterclass on May 29th. It's called the Aligned Action Masterclass: How to Move from Stuck and Scattered to Creating Clear, Confident, Positive Impact. And you can go to jodinetzer.com/action to register as either a participant or to share in your community. Or if you want to go directly, you can go jodinetzer.com/aligned. But in the action part, you can write a note that I will get, and we can communicate if you want a soul contract. And then how you heard about me, please write Dr. Millie in that field.
Okay, thank you so much,
And they can
Jodi.
connect, yeah, they can connect with me on LinkedIn and Facebook and send me a message there too.
Okay, and we'll put your socials, both the link to register for your webinar as well as to book a session with you, in the description. So you can find that there. And it's jodinetzer.com/align.
Aligned, yeah,
Align.
is for
Okay.
registering for the masterclass directly.
Okay.
But if you want to do /action, and then you have a choice to also share the masterclass with your community, but also directly write a note that I will see, because there's a note field. So if you're interested in a soul contract reading, that's probably the easiest, best way as of today.
Okay, perfect. And definitely mention me, Dr. Millie, and that you saw Jodi here on the Alpha Theta Network podcast. Thanks so much for being here today, Jodi, and thank you so much for doing this reading. I'm really curious to know more. I can't believe I almost forgot the soul destiny part, and that sounded like some good news finally for my chart. So
There's always positive, negative of everything, and I just like give you some of the key things, but man, it goes way deep and like very nuanced. So yeah, there's positive, negative everywhere.
yeah,
So
of course. And
yeah,
it's all perspective too, and what we're willing to work on.
completely.
So
Yeah,
thank
and
you
it
so much
seems
for
like you're
being here.
doing great. So you're on your
Oh, thank you.
you're more aligned than not. So you're good.
Okay, good. Thank you. It's good to have some outside approval.
Yes. Awesome.
So we'll catch you
Thank you.
next time on the Alpha Theta Network. Thanks for tuning in. Is your gut saying one thing, but your logic says another? That internal tug of war is exhausting. I'm Dr. Millie. I created the Clarity Prescription to end that worry and bring you mental peace. You'll get 5 45-minute one-on-one virtual sessions with me to resolve deep internal conflict. Click the link in the description to book your sessions for $9.97. Your clear path is waiting.